victim of a shooting that night in the club, December 27th, 1999, shot in the face by Sean Puffy Combs. I was an innocent bystander.
Back with Moses Shyne Barrow, who served nearly 9 years in prison, stemming from that infamous nightclub shooting that changed his life forever. His co-defendant, Sean Combs, was acquitted.
If you think this is just another story about a fallen music mogul, think again. It's about betrayal power plays and one of the most notorious moments in hip-hop history, the 1999 Club New York shooting. Shyne has been trying to tell us about seeing Diddy Combs for years, but it seems like people are only now beginning to listen because Diddy is dealing with a barrage of legal issues.
You at this time?
I'm 42, I'm gonna be 43 next month.
And at this time with Diddy,
I was probably like 19.
19.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Shyne Barrow, a name that might not be as familiar today, but in the late 90s, he was one of the hottest young rappers around. Signed to Diddy's Bad Boy Records, Shyne was on the brink of superstardom, with his deep, Biggie-like voice earning him comparisons to the late legend. Many believed he was destined to be the next big thing. But just as his career was taking off, everything came crashing down. According to Shyne, Diddy played a significant role in derailing his rise to fame. Now known as Moses Barrow, Shyne has traded rap for politics in his home country of Belize. After years of reflecting on the infamous 1999 nightclub shooting, he's opening up about it all in his new Hulu documentary, The Honorable Shyne *. The film lays bare his side of the story and how he believes Diddy betrayed him.
That point really stuck out. I never heard you say it,
Yeah.
that you were the fall guy.
Well, that's the interesting thing. I believe that, the power of Diddy, the entertainer, the person that dominated pop culture, was so loud for so long that no one heard myself and my mom and my support.
Let's rewind to the pivotal event that changed everything for Shyne and Diddy, the infamous Club New York shooting. It was a night that would alter their lives forever. Shyne, Diddy, and Diddy's then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were at the club when an argument escalated, leading to gunfire. 3 people were injured in the chaos. While Diddy managed to walk away with his legal record intact, Shyne wasn't so fortunate. He was convicted on multiple charges, including assault and criminal possession of a weapon, and sentenced to 10 years in prison. For years, Shyne has maintained that he fired his gun that night in self-defense. According to him, he wasn't the aggressor but someone trying to protect himself in a chaotic and dangerous situation. He insists that if he hadn't acted, he might not have made it out alive. What adds another layer of intrigue to this story is Shyne's belief that Diddy, his mentor and the man who was supposed to guide his career, set him up to take the fall for the entire incident.
At the end of the day, I think he was not fleeing a crime scene. I think he believed that he was fleeing for his life.
In recent interviews, Shyne hasn't held back, openly expressing the deep betrayal he felt when Diddy, instead of standing by him during his trial, chose to distance himself. According to Shyne, Diddy went as far as calling witnesses to testify against him. In a conversation with CNN, Shyne didn't sugarcoat his feelings. Anyone that would send someone to jail deliberately is a monster. Shyne firmly believes that Diddy sacrificed him to save his own skin. And he's not the only one who thinks so. Speculation has grown over the years that Diddy may have orchestrated the situation to ensure he walked away unscathed, leaving Shyne to take the fall. Adding fuel to the fire is the testimony of one of the shooting victims, Netanya Rubin, who claimed she saw Diddy with a gun that night. Yet, despite this damning testimony, Diddy was acquitted. How does that happen? According to Shyne and others, it might come down to Diddy's money and influence being used to manipulate the outcome in his favor.
Okay, I can say I was at a girlfriend's house. We hung out for the holiday. My kids were spending Christmas with my grandmother.
Actually, Shyne has stated time and time again that things might have gone much differently if he had complied with the district attorney and provided testimony against Diddy. Diddy's fate might have been much different. Shyne remains silent, believing Diddy would have his back, but he claims that Diddy threw him under the bus. Diddy might have been imprisoned, and who knows what that would have done to his career.
I personally know people who were paid for their silence. Personally. And that doesn't make me feel good, but I know they were.
Let's fast forward to 2012. Diddy contacted Shy 3 years after he was released from prison, and the two met in Paris for the first time in over 10 years. Diddy reportedly made an effort to make amends, but it was insufficient as Shy claimed that Diddy offered him about $50,000 as payment for the 10 years he had been incarcerated. Shy's response, "You can't be serious." In a subsequent interview with Shyne, he told The Breakfast Club that $50,000 felt like a smack in the face after everything he had been through, including giving up his profession, his freedom, and nearly his life.
But I think your fans in some way believe you were wronged, not just by the legal system, but also by the industry.
Shyne's frustration with Diddy extends far beyond the 1999 shooting. He's been outspoken about his belief that Diddy not only betrayed him, but also profited from his downfall. According to Shyne, if he hadn't taken the fall, Diddy wouldn't have risen to become the billionaire mogul he is today. During an interview on The Breakfast Club Shyne didn't hold back. If I would have cooperated with the district attorney, he'd have gone to jail, and who knows what would have happened to his career. That's worth at least a couple $1 million out of the billion that you're worth. It's hard not to empathize with Shyne's perspective. Imagine being a young artist on the brink of superstardom, only to have it all ripped away because of one fateful night. To make it worse, the man who gave you your big break, the person you looked up to, ends up being the one you believe betrayed you. Shyne has spoken at length about the struggles he faced rebuilding his life after prison. The emotional toll was immense. He felt abandoned by the music industry and had to find a new sense of purpose after his career was derailed. Yet, despite everything, Shyne found a way to heal. He's publicly stated that he's forgiven Diddy, not for Diddy's sake, but for his own. Forgiving was about letting go of the bitterness and anger so he could move forward, but forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. Shyne's new Hulu documentary, The Honorable Shyne lays bare the pain and betrayal he endured. It's a raw and unflinching account of his journey, from the streets of Flatbush to a prison cell to the halls of Belizean government. What makes Shyne's story even more compelling is how it mirrors Diddy's current legal troubles. In recent months, Diddy has faced a wave of lawsuits and federal charges that could land him in serious hot water. While these charges are unrelated to the 1999 nightclub incident, many are starting to see a pattern of behavior spanning decades. For Shyne, his journey has been one of redemption and transformation, but for Diddy, it seems his past may finally be catching up with him.
The defendants are charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree and third degrees for the possession of loaded 9mm gun.
Shyne's story seems more relevant now than ever. When he first began speaking out about Diddy, many dismissed his claims as the bitter words of a disgruntled former artist. At the time, Diddy was at the peak of his career, and few were willing to entertain the idea that he could have wronged Shyne. But now, with Diddy facing multiple lawsuits and criminal charges, the narrative has shifted. People are starting to take Shyne's words seriously, as if the world is finally beginning to question whether Diddy's untouchable image might have been an illusion all along. In recent interviews, Shyne has been careful not to revel in Diddy's legal troubles. He's made it clear that he takes no pleasure in seeing his former mentor in such a position. In fact, Shyne has stated that he wouldn't wish prison on anyone, not even Diddy. Still, after all these years, Shyne admits to feeling a sense of vindication. For the first time, people are truly listening to his side of the story. They're beginning to see that perhaps Diddy isn't the hero they once believed him to be.
So yesterday, Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily, so I guess right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind bars.
One of the most striking things about Shyne's interviews is how much he's grown since his time in prison. He's no longer the brash young rapper chasing fame. Instead, he's a thoughtful, reflective man who has found a new purpose in life. As a politician in Belize, Shyne is focused on helping others and making a positive impact in his community. He's used his platform to advocate for prison reform and to raise awareness about the struggles faced by people, like himself, who have been caught up in the criminal justice system. Yet, despite moving forward, the shadow of the 1999 nightclub shooting still looms large over Shyne's life. It's an event that will forever link him to Diddy, and no matter how much time passes, it remains a topic of speculation. Did Diddy set Shyne up to take the fall? Was there more to the story than what the public has been told? These questions linger, and they may never be fully answered. One thing, however, is certain. Shyne's story isn't fading into obscurity. His journey, growth, and the unresolved mysteries of that fateful night continue to captivate and provoke discussion.
Said, that Diddy snitched on me, that he threw me under the bus, and that I was a sacrificial lamb. But, that's 26 years ago.
26 years ago.
So people don't remember, and I have moved on. So you asked why. This is more of a celebration than, dancing on Diddy's grave or wanting to even connect myself.
With the release of Asterisk, the Honorable Shyne Asterisk, a pivotal chapter in hip-hop history is being reopened for a new generation to examine. Coupled with Diddy's current legal troubles making headlines, Shyne's accusations are gaining more traction than ever. It's a powerful reminder of the importance of storytelling and speaking your truth, even when no one wants to hear it. Looking back on the events of 1999, it's hard not to wonder how things might have turned out if Shyne had made different choices. What if he had testified against Diddy? What if he had cooperated with the district attorney? Would Diddy's career have been derailed? Could Shyne have avoided prison? These lingering questions will likely stay with Shyne for the rest of his life, adding yet another layer of complexity to his remarkable story.
Charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that. Thank you very much.
Despite everything, Shyne has found a way to turn his pain into purpose. He's rebuilt his life, and in many ways, emerged stronger on the other side. While he may never get the justice he feels he deserves, he's learned to let go of the past and focus on the future. As for Diddy, only time will tell what the future holds. One thing is certain though, the world is finally paying attention to what Shyne has been saying all along. Whether or not Diddy is ever held accountable for his actions, his legacy will always be shadowed by the events of that fateful night in 1999. But let's not forget another key figure in this story, Jennifer Lopez. She was right there that night, caught up in the whirlwind of chaos alongside Shyne and Diddy. While her involvement in the Club New York shooting has often been downplayed or forgotten, it's impossible to ignore that she was in the thick of it. At the time, Jennifer Lopez and Diddy were the ultimate power couple. They were inseparable, gracing red carpets, appearing in music videos, and even attending the Grammys hand in hand. Their relationship dominated headlines and was the stuff of tabloid dreams. But behind the glitz and glamour, there was reportedly much more going on. Some sources have suggested that Lopez's relationship with Diddy was far from perfect, describing it as toxic and fraught with situations that left her feeling uncomfortable or even in danger. So this raises an intriguing question. What role did J-Lo play in the events of that night? And did she know more than she let on at the time?
I watched them, bow, bow, both of them fired, and the muzzle flash was like, psh, psh. Shyne's muzzle flash was a little higher. He was on the side closest to the bar.
This all took place during the late 90s when Diddy was at the peak of his power, not just as a music mogul, but as a cultural icon. It seemed like everyone wanted to be in his orbit. However, behind the public facade, rumors suggest that Diddy wasn't always the caring and attentive partner he appeared to be. According to sources close to the couple, Diddy could be controlling and manipulative, and Lopez often found herself in situations that made her question their relationship. One insider even shared with Asterisk, the independent Asterisk, that Diddy frequently kept guns and large amounts of cash in the car when they went out together. For someone like Lopez, who came from a humble background and had never been involved in that kind of lifestyle, this was a major red flag. As one source put it, she was a good girl from the Bronx and wasn't used to that kind of danger. But because she was in love with Diddy and wanted to support him, she stuck by him. Then came the night of the shooting. Trouble reportedly began when Diddy accidentally spilled a drink on another clubgoer, Matthew "Scar" Allen. A heated argument ensued, and before anyone knew it, shots were fired. Lopez, Diddy, and Shyne found themselves caught in the chaos. When the dust settled, 3 people were injured, including Natanya Rubin, who was struck in the face by a stray bullet.
Puffy's muzzle flash was a little lower, and he was on the side closest to where I was, straight ahead from me. I watched them both fire their guns. I watched them.
Both Diddy and Shyne fired their guns that night. After the chaos, Lopez and Diddy fled the scene in a Lincoln Navigator, but they were pulled over by police a few blocks away. A gun was found in the vehicle, and both were arrested. Lopez spent up to 14 hours in jail before the charges against her were dropped. Though she walked away legally unscathed, the entire ordeal left a lasting emotional impact on her. In interviews years later, Lopez has alluded to being in relationships where she felt mistreated and disrespected. Although she never named names, many believe she was referring to her time with Diddy. In an interview with *Essence*, she shared that she had been in situations where the person she was with claimed to love her, but their actions didn't reflect that love. You have to hit rock bottom, where you're in situations so uncomfortable and so painful that you finally go, "I don't want this anymore," she said.
I got hit right here, in my nose, in between my eyes, which means I'm facing directly at you. Just like I'm looking at you and I can tell you got on black shades.
Lopez's relationship with Diddy ended not long after the shooting, and while the official reasons for their breakup have never been fully disclosed, many believe the events of that night played a significant role. It wasn't just the legal drama, it was the lasting impact the incident had on Lopez's image. At the time, she was an up-and-coming actress and singer with a squeaky clean reputation, and being associated with a violent nightclub shooting wasn't exactly a good look for her brand. Some sources suggest that Lopez's team, including her longtime manager Benny Medina, played a key role in encouraging her to distance herself from Diddy after the shooting. According to one insider, Medina was fiercely protective of Lopez and didn't want her to get dragged into Diddy's legal troubles. Benny would have taken out Puffy if he laid a finger on Jennifer, the source told the Independent *. While there's no evidence to suggest that Diddy ever physically harmed Lopez, the fact that she was so close to the violence that night was enough to make her reconsider the relationship.
And I watched him shoot me. So, not to digress, it always bugs me when people say, "How can you be sure?"
Though Lopez eventually walked away, the legacy of the Club New York shooting has continued to follow her for years. Fans and the media have speculated about what really happened that night and how much Lopez knew. Did she have any idea that Diddy was capable of getting involved in something like this? Was she aware of the growing tension between him and Shyne? Some have even suggested that Lopez could have been a key witness in the case had she chosen to testify. After all, she was right there when the shots were fired and likely saw much more than she's ever revealed. But for reasons unknown, Lopez stayed quiet during the trial, allowing Diddy to take the spotlight and Shyne to take the fall.
Conscious, I was fully aware. I looked to the side and I saw this guy laying on the floor under the lip of the bar.
It's worth noting that Shyne and Lopez have never really addressed each other publicly, despite their shared connection to Diddy and the events of that night in 1999. In fact, Shyne has consistently avoided dragging Lopez into the drama, even though he could have easily pointed fingers at her for being part of Diddy's entourage that night. Instead, Shyne has channeled his anger and frustration solely toward Diddy, accusing him of betrayal and manipulation. What makes this even more intriguing is that Diddy is currently facing a slew of legal troubles, including charges related to misconduct and other serious allegations. While these charges don't directly link back to the 1999 shooting, they paint a picture of a man who has spent years dodging accountability.
100%. I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure. I'm 1,000,000% sure.
Some fans and critics are now beginning to wonder if Diddy's recent behavior is part of a larger pattern that stretches back to his early days at Bad Boy Records. Could it be that the same manipulative and self-serving tendencies that allegedly led him to throw Shyne under the bus in 1999 are the same ones that have gotten him into trouble today? It's hard not to draw parallels between the two situations. In fact, many fans have been vocal about their thoughts on Diddy's downfall, expressing their opinions in the comments of YouTube videos and social media posts. One fan wrote, "I always knew there was something shady about Diddy, and now it's all coming to light. Shyne was right all along." Another user added, "Diddy's been getting away with too much for too long. It's about time karma caught up with him."
And trust me, everybody else knew what happened too. You know how many people in the club were talking about this all around New York? Everybody knew he did it. Everybody knew he did.
It's clear that public perception of Diddy is shifting, And for many, his involvement in the 1999 shooting is just the beginning. With new allegations emerging, more and more people are starting to believe that Diddy has been using his wealth and power to escape accountability for years, hiding behind his influence. On top of that, there's the ongoing FBI investigation into Diddy's business dealings, which is rumored to be uncovering some shocking details. While the full extent of the investigation remains unknown, it's clear that Diddy's empire is starting to crumble. As more information comes to light, it's becoming increasingly difficult for him to maintain the carefully crafted image he's built over the years.
What prosecutors are arguing is not only does your client pose a flight risk, because obviously he's incredibly wealthy, has access to planes and a lot of staff, even though you said he turned over his passport to you months ago, they were also worried about him being able to interfere with witnesses and calling them.
So where does this leave Jennifer Lopez? For now, she's largely stayed silent on the matter. She has moved on from her days with Diddy, carving out a successful career in both music and film. She's happily remarried to Ben Affleck and by all accounts is living her best life. However, as Diddy's legal troubles continue to unfold, it's likely that Lopez will once again find herself in the spotlight, with people questioning her involvement in the events of 1999 and wondering if she knew more than she's ever let on. One thing's for sure, the story of the Club New York shooting is far from over. As Diddy's empire unravels, more secrets from his past are bound to surface, and with Shyne's documentary The Honorable Shyne bringing fresh attention to the case, it's clear that this chapter of hip-hop history is still being written.
So this is not just my word. They just had the power, the influence, and the money to get around town and shut people down and pay them for their silence.
Will Diddy be held responsible for his misdeeds at last? Let us know in the comments what you think about this developing issue. Will Lopez ever talk about her time with Diddy and what she saw that night? How will Shyne's tale change as he becomes more well-known, not as a politician and leader?